Hi everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Tuesday Talk, and this week I wanted to talk about something a little different, just veering a little bit. Let me get closer so y'all can see me, and just veering a little bit away from what I usually talk about, because I got an email from a subscriber and she just wanted to get some tips on how to date. And so this video is just going to be all about being a successful dater. Okay? So first things first. Now, dating in this day and age is like crazy, completely crazy. But you can definitely successfully do it if you set some boundaries, not only for yourself, but for the people that you come in contact with. Now, first things first, everybody wants a quality person. What I mean by quality, somebody that looks good, somebody that smells nice, somebody that's self-sufficient, meaning you have your own vehicle, you have your own apartment, house, whatever, you have your own dwelling place, and you have a job. And so, because, I mean, nobody really wants to deal with somebody that got their hand out and is begging. You know what I'm saying? That's not hot, that's not cool, nobody don't want to deal with that type of foolishness. Some people get away with it, but if you really, really want to look for somebody, you know, with some sense, you got to have your stuff together. And so, when I was younger, I moved out of my parents' house when I was 23, and I worked 2 jobs, so I really didn't have a whole lot of time to date. But giving you guys some useful advice, if you want to date, especially if you want to do it successfully, which just meaning that you're dating, you want it to progress into marriage at some point, this is how you do it. First things first, start going to the gym or go online, get you a couple of workout DVDs and get yourself in shape, because this, I mean, regardless of what anybody may say, this society is very superficial and looks matter like completely from the gate. People look at your appearance, how you carry yourself. Now, you don't have to strive to get no 6-pack, 8-pack, or be a size 0, but just to get yourself in, you know, do something regularly that keeps your energy up, that keeps you feeling great, because exercising really does help your overall wellness, you know, helps you have a great attitude, just helps you be a lot positive. And if you lose some weight and get tight and right, that is just like an extra plus. Alright? Get a job. Nobody wants to date somebody that's unemployed or, you know, walking around not doing anything with their day. You know, you have to have that on point. Get a job. It doesn't have to be the best job in the world, but, you know, strive to be the best, because you want people to see that you are ambitious, that you want the most out of life, that you're doing whatever you need to do to be the best you possible. And so if you're working at McDonald's right now, that's fine, but try to, if you so desire, go back to school, you know, get a degree or get a professional trade or certificate or something that shows that you are willing to just increase whatever situation that you have. You know, you want to do better for yourself. Get a vehicle, you know, because it's very hard to date on the bus. Because the bus only runs at certain times, and nobody wants to be so fresh and so clean, smelling good, and you get sweaty sitting outside waiting on the bus. It doesn't have to be the nicest car. It can just be a point A and a point B car. Okay? And I've had plenty of those. So get you a car And when you can, get you a little apartment. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. You can even have an efficiency, you know, as long as you're living on your own somewhere. Because let me tell you something, it is not hot. I don't care what your excuse may be or your situation may be. Like, it ain't hot for a grown person to be living with their mama and daddy, unless it's something dire where your apartment was burnt out or something crazy happened to you and you could, you know, kind of get away with it. But you have to have like an end date at some point. Like, oh yeah, I'm staying with my parents for a few months until I get my money right so I can get a place. You know, not somebody that's just living with their mama, mooching off their mama and daddy. You know what I'm saying? That ain't hot. So get yourself together. Before you even think about trying to talk to anybody, make sure you on point. Because I find, which is kind of really dumb, people who have like the highest of standards when it comes to dating, they're a hot mess themselves. Like, how do you expect a man or a woman to have all of these different things and you the sorriest of the sorriest? That's not cool. You know, get yourself together. Get tight, get right, get your job, get your car, get your place, and then you can say, okay, now that I have everything in order, you know, personally, I can go on ahead and start seeking out guys. Now, for me, I met my husband online. I won't tell you the website because that website is not for everybody. And I don't want nobody going on that website. They meet a damn fool, and then something happened, and then y'all come back and say, you told us to go to this website to meet. I ain't telling you nothing. There are millions, thousands, probably not millions, but there are thousands of dating websites. Just pick one. Now, whether you meet a guy or a girl on, sorry, I'm really tired. Whether you meet a guy online or you meet a person, I'll just say a person in the street, you know, whether it's at the mall or it's at the grocery store, wherever you meet him, you must have some boundaries. You must have a set of guidelines, personal guidelines. It's not to make public. This is personal guidelines that you yourself follow, not only to keep yourself safe, but to protect your heart. You know, really, to protect your heart. And so first things first, when you meet somebody for the first time, you ask all of the general questions. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people dating folks, and they don't even know their last name. It's just like, are you serious? You've been going on a date with this man for how long, and you don't know his last name? You don't know her last name? Some fools don't even know their real name. Oh, this is Magic Mike or some foolishness. Like, okay, well, what is his real name? I don't know. Like, come on. You know, come on. I was gonna say we grown. You're not in high school, you know, little booty, woody woo. Like, no. What is his damn name? What is his name? First and last name. And because we live in the society that we live in, and people lie. I don't know why, but they lie all the time. Ask for ID. If a man approaches you and he wants to take you out, get his ID, boo. You know, because trust me, if a person wants to date you bad enough, they'll show you their ID. And I will write down that driver's license number. I will check that birthday, you know. And I had a personal rule, you know, especially when I was in my later 20s, that I wouldn't date anybody under 25. That was just my personal rule for myself, because I don't have time to babysit. I don't have time, you know, not to say that all young guys don't know what they're doing and they're immature or whatnot. I just personally just didn't have time for the games. I don't have time for it, you know. You know, when you get older, you just like, you don't want to do something. Women, they like younger guys. Okay, you have your preference. You figure that all out in the beginning, you know, before you start dating. And so, you know, first things first, check their identification, commit it to memory, or write it down, you know. And secondly, catfish them, you know, as far as search them. Search their first and last name. Do a social media search. And that pretty much will tell you a lot that you need to know without even going on a first date. You could tell if he or she is very popular with the opposite sex, have a whole lot of drama, is inappropriate, does a lot of crazy stuff. You could tell a whole lot of stuff. You could tell a whole lot about a person based on their social media activity. So I recommend doing that. Google their phone number, okay? Because a lot of guys, they got phones in their mama name, in their baby mama name, in my girlfriend name. You know, who needs that drama? Who needs it? Google their phone number to make sure that their phone is registered in their name, you know, and then you can go from there. Next, and this is purely like optional, talk to a person for a while, and I am not talking via text. If he does not have time to call you on the phone, do not accept a bunch of text messages, because for whatever reason, folks just don't know, refuse, they don't want to talk on the phone no more. Oh, I don't talk on the phone, just text me. No. Don't accept that. If he don't have time to pick up the phone and talk to you, next. You know, don't put up with that. Oh, I can only just text. You know. Number 2, and I cannot stress this, well, I don't even know what number I'm on, but whatever number I'm on, it's not 2. But one thing I cannot stress, do not send any photographs, any pictures of yourself, whether you are clothed or not. If he wants to know what you look like in person, then y'all plan a little outing, or just a sip and see. Y'all can go to a Starbucks, which is a very, very, very public place. Meet him at a Starbucks. Meet him or her at the mall, at the food court, you know. Never invite anybody to your house, you know, or have them pick you up anywhere. You know, meet them out somewhere public. So if they really want to see you that badly, they can go and they can make the time to meet you. You know, this I guess not the social media, but the cell phone, camera phones and all, it has just made people so lazy. They don't want to date no more. They just want to send me a picture. You know what I'm saying? And you just sent this guy all these pictures, you know, and if something happened, he want to post your photos online, talk about you like the dog and all that. People don't have time for that. So yeah, if you don't have time to meet you in person to see what you really look like, then next. Make sure he got the basic necessities of life: an apartment, a car, and a job. If he or she don't have those 3 things, next. Because he need to get his life together. Because if you are not working, you have too much time on your hands. Entirely too much time on your hands, you know, to waste time. And so, if you don't have no job, no car, next, you know, because you need somebody that is self-sufficient. There is no way, if you want to get married one day, how are you supposed to marry somebody that can't even take care of themselves? It's not going to happen. You can't do it, you know. And so, also find out how many children he has. Find out if he's paying child support, if he's taking care of his kids. I had a no-kid policy because I dated a guy with a kid, and his baby mama played on my phone, and that was it. Because my whole thing was not about her. It was about, where could you have been for that long for her to be able to go inside your phone, take my phone number, and play on my phone? And I made it clear to her, boom, let this be the first and last time you call, you can have him. And I ended it. I don't have time for the nonsense. I am not in high school anymore, and you want to play on the phone, be ignorant or whatever, then you can go. He begged and pleaded, oh, I'll talk to her. Don't bother, boo. In the situations like that, I was no nonsense. Cause I don't play game. I don't, do that back and forth. Oh, that's my man, that's my baby dad. Keep him. You want him? Have him. I don't want him. You can have him. Congratulations. I have enough problems. You understand what I'm saying? That problem is not a problem. You want him so bad, go ahead and keep him. And clearly he's lying about his relationship with you because you were able to get into his cell phone to get my number. And that whole situation, see, I'm the kind of person, I create scenarios in my head all the time. So you just can't tell me no story and I'm just going to take it hook, line, and sinker. I will create an entire scenario in my head and just dismiss you because I don't do that. No. Everybody's glued to their cell phone. What were you doing? How did she get your password? Okay, cool. That's your baby mama? Okay, y'all go be together. Go do it. I digress. But I'm going to be digressing a lot. So yeah, if you have a rule, no baby mamas, no guys with kids, then you need to stick with that. If you don't mind dating guys with children or with one kid or whatever, then you need to also be clear as to what his relationship with his child's mother or children's mother is, because you don't want to be put into a situation that is uncomfortable or that is going to embarrass you. So it's best that you find out what's going on ahead of time and just, sit back and observe too, because people just say, oh, I don't have no baby mama drama, but then in the middle of your date, baby mama showed up at the restaurant in her curls and her 5 kids like, you got money to pay for this to eat, but you ain't paid. You don't want that, because you will be the first thing on social media. They love to videotape stuff nowadays to put you online. So to avoid that kind of stuff, make sure if you see a situation that's kind of suspect, thanks, but no thanks. Move on. Also, Google, just research to do. I remember I dated a guy, not very long. I think I went on one date with this guy. And I just did a simple Google search on this fool. He was on 15 different dating sites. I never called him ever again and did not accept any of his calls. There is no reason. There are too many people on these dating sites for you to be on 15. Why are you on 15 sites? You know what? I don't even want to know why. Deuces. And that was it. I can't. I can't. Also, you can do extensive background checks, either criminal or just regular DMV background checks for the low price for under 20 bucks. So if you meet a dude or a female that you're digging a lot and you just really want to, or you just feel like they're not revealing all of themselves to you, it's okay to go on ahead and pay that little bit of money and go find out what you need to find out. Because let me tell you, the worst thing you could do is be in a situation with a person and you have to find out something about them because they did something to you. I was watching, I was on Facebook last night and I saw a story of a young lady who met this guy off of Facebook, and apparently she worked out some agreement that she was going to have sex with him for some cash. And he came to her house and he shot her in the head and killed her. Come to find out, Home Slice has a record of violence against women and he's mentally disabled. He has mental issues. And so if she would have done her due diligence, she would probably be still living today. And I've heard of stories like that so much where folks just, it doesn't really matter where you meet a person. Crazy people are not exclusively online. crazy people reside and are everywhere. You know, some stuff you really just can't avoid, but certain things you kind of, you can. You know, you can if you just follow just your simple rules. Have just your basic rules that you will not break. I had a no sex policy, you know, because I had got burned a couple of times, a few times, where you meet a guy, you dig him a lot, and you think y'all are, you know, getting really close. As soon as they hit it, they split. You know what I'm saying? And it's embarrassing because you wasn't looking for no one night stand, but because they knew, you know, and a lot of times you just don't, you ain't even gotta tell them. Just like, no, I'm not ready for that. You know, I choose not to. I don't have casual sex. And you just leave it at that. If they want to ask you a whole bunch of questions, listen, this is what it is. If you're cool with it, cool. If you ain't, deuces. You know, you ain't got to provide no whole, you don't have to defend, you know, your decisions on what you choose to do. Because you got a lot of folks running around here with HIV and AIDS and herpes, stuff that don't wash off, you know, and they're not telling folks. They're just living their life because they feel like, oh, somebody gave it to me, so I'm just going to infect as many people as I can. Or like that damn fool Charlie Sheen talking about, oh, I can't pass the disease on to nobody because his medicine is just so great. He can't pass the disease on to nobody else. Come on, bullcrap. The same way you got it, that's the same way I can get it too. You know, and so you gotta be careful. Also, I watch a lot of court TV, Judge Mathis, Judge Judy. Do not, if a man or a woman asks you to borrow money and you don't even know them, deuces. I don't have it. Even if you have it, no. The answer is no. I don't lend money. And my thing, I don't give grown men money. So sorry. You know, and that's because I did. Not much, it was like $30, but I was mad behind my $30. He never paid me back. You know. Alright, I'm tired. But yeah, but no matter where you meet a person, you have to set some ground rules for yourself and set some ground rules for them, because there's so much crazy stuff going on. You know, you have to be clear. You know, find out what gender they are. Nowadays, gender is a big fat question mark. You really don't know. If you have to question, you need to ask. You know, what gender were you born? Period. Because that question, you can't. Don't tell me what you are now. What gender were you born? You know, are you homosexual, bisexual, transsexual, dual sexual, crazy sexual? I don't know. What kind of sexual are you? You know, find out stuff about folks. It's okay to look at a person and be like, oh, they're so cute, they're so fine, they're so this and so that. Don't get caught up in looks that you don't do your homework on folks. You know, do your homework. Also, if you go to church, you know, join your singles ministry. There are lots of great activities that single ministries have. They do a lot of mixers where they have, you know, bowling parties. You know, they'll have like get-togethers somewhere where you can mingle and meet folks. You know, do things that way. But just be really, really careful. You know, if you have any close friends, try to bring a friend with you. You know, even if they have a significant other, just be like, listen, you know, what's the single thing? I know you have somebody, but can you just go with me just so that I won't be going by myself? You know, do some stuff like that. But if you have any other questions or comments or funny stories, leave them in the comments below. But that's just pretty much how you successfully date. I mean, dating can be like so much fun. I enjoy dating. I enjoy going different places and meeting different type of people. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be happily single. There's nothing wrong with being single. Single is what it is. And sometimes you just need that time to yourself to get yourself together, you know, before you get married. Because marriage is forever. And you can be, once you get married, you are consumed, you know, with your husband, and then later on with the children, you know, and then you'll sit back and say, dang, man, I remember when I was single, and so, man, listen. Like, I was like the epitome of singleness and just freedom. You know, I can pick up and go whenever I wanted to. If I'm tired, I can lay down and go to sleep. Now I have things to do. I have a child to take care of, a husband to take care of as well, so I don't get to do whatever I want when I want. You know, so stick with your boundaries. You know, set boundaries and stick with them, and you'll be a successful dater. So y'all stay tuned. There's going to be a part 2 of this. Next week we're going to talk about how to snag a husband. And so I can definitely tell you how to snag a husband because I'm married, and I've been married for almost 4 years now. And so I can give you some tips on what you can do to snag a husband or a wife, you know. But I only have experience with husbands because that's what I have. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have a personal story or you have an idea or something that you would like to share, you can email me at roverfamily2012@yahoo.com. Subscribe, like, thumbs up. There's this really annoying person that always thumbs down. So shout out to you, thumbs downer. Thank you for watching, because I'm sure you watch. And even if you don't watch, thank you for showing me that you're acknowledging my presence by thumbing down my videos. So I appreciate you as well. So I will talk to you guys next time on how to snag a husband. Peace out.